Hello, genius. Today, we want to talk about a very important and sensitive topic, suicide. Suicide is the intentional act of causing one's own death. It's a topic that touches all of us in some way. Many of us have known or loved someone who has taken their own life, or have witnessed the aftermath of losing a friend or family member to suicide. Surprisingly, suicide accounts for more years of life lost than any other cause of death after cancer and heart disease. Despite this shocking statistic, most of us feel uncomfortable discussing suicide and asking someone if they are having thoughts about harming themselves. In the past, there was a common belief that people who died by suicide were crazy, selfish, or morally defective. However, medical research has shown that suicidal thoughts are often the result of psychiatric conditions such as depression, anxiety, or schizophrenia. Unfortunately, this knowledge hasn't made it any easier for us to talk openly about suicide. Let's take a look at some alarming statistics from the U.S. Center for Disease Control. In 2017 alone, 47 to 173 Americans died by suicide, with an estimated 4 million suicide attempts. Suicide is now the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and it is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. Shockingly, white men ages 45 to 64 have the highest suicide rate. It's crucial for us to understand that people who experience suicidal thoughts don't actually want to die, but they desperately want to escape their unbearable suffering. They feel trapped and can't see any way out except through death. However, they are often conflicted about the act of suicide and wish there was an alternative. Many individuals who die by suicide will actually talk about their desire to end their lives beforehand. That's why it's crucial to take any mention of suicidal thoughts or plans seriously. Studies have shown that hopelessness is a strong predictor of suicide. To prevent suicide, we must recognize the warning signs and take them seriously. It can be extremely challenging to approach someone about their signs or symptoms, but if you are unsure whether someone is suicidal, the best way to find out is simply to ask. Asking someone if they are okay or having thoughts of harming themselves does not make them more likely to be suicidal. In fact, it can provide them with relief from loneliness and negative emotions and may even prevent a suicide attempt. Let's quickly go over some common signs and symptoms that may indicate someone is at risk of suicide. Verbal cues, such as expressions like "I want to die," should never be ignored. Pay attention to any behavioral changes, like withdrawal or recklessness. Emotional shifts, such as feelings of hopelessness or despair, are also important red flags. Several risk factors and triggers can contribute to suicidal thoughts, including mental health conditions like depression and anxiety, traumatic events such as loss or abuse, and social isolation and lack of support. If you or someone you know is in crisis, there are resources available to help. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can be reached at 1-800-2723-TALK, and the crisis text line is accessible by texting HOME to 741741. Online resources and support groups are also available. So how can you help someone in crisis? It starts with listening without judgment. Validate their feelings and let them know you care. Encourage them to seek professional help, as trained professionals can provide the necessary support and guidance. For additional consultations, please refer to the flyer at the end of the video. Remember, suicide is a serious matter, and by having open conversations and offering support, we can make a difference. Thank you for your attention. Yours, Coach Wisdom Akiba.